Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another edition of Props of the Week. Once again, featuring me, King of Crackdown and Pro Smoke Bets, giving you our props of the week for the week. And this time we're doing the edition of UFC Fight Night, Garcia versus Onama. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the props, get right into the nitty gritty of things. So first prop, I got Dumont by decision at -105. I feel like this fight is probably like to go the distance. I don't feel like Vieira's at a point of her career where she's such a great finisher, particularly. And Dumont has, like I said, she has like one loss by finish. Other than that, like no decision fighter. And I think Dumont probably got like 2 finishes inside their UFC career, so she's not a big finisher. Vieira is tough; she's a veteran. Dumont's a veteran at this point as well. But I think Dumont is a much more cleaner striker here. She should be able to outbox Vieira, who's very sloppy on the feet. Be able to address the grappling. Vieira, who is not particularly a great offensive grappler. She's like physical and stuff, but her technique as far as everything she does is not really that great. So Dumont should be able to address everything she deals with, and this fight the more clinical fight and beat Vieira by decision. So -105, I think that's a great value here. Next one, we got Deval by KO or decision at +300. So just trying to maximize the value here on Deval, I guess. So KO or decision, this is a slightly better value going with the dog. I don't see him submitting Bulgarian here. He's the underdog, so a lot of people see him losing. But yeah, either way, the value's already good, and you make it a little bit better. You kind of cut out the option where do we think he's going to submit Bulgarian? Probably not. But hey, crazy things have happened. It might happen, but just trying to maximize the value even more. So KO or decision for the underdog underdog Deval here to maximize that. Deval should be able to address the wrestling of Bulgarian. So Deval should be able to address the wrestling of Bulgarian. And he's just a much cleaner fighter with a better cardio and just a more polished fighter. And yes, I think he should be able to address that and use his striking to, again, either KO him or beat him by decision here. Next fight, we have Cole by decision against Phil Rowe, my twin, some people say. But anyway, I got Cole by decision there. I feel like Phil Rowe's pretty tough, and I don't feel like Cole's such a great finisher, especially not at this level. Maybe outside of UFC, he's finishing people, but based on what I've seen him, his fights, underneath the UFC and contender series better. He got some good power, he got some good strength. Some people would say he's the Asian Mike Tyson. I don't see the comparison, but yeah, I don't really see much finishing potential upside from him. And it's not like Phil Rowe is a guy that gets finished. I can't really think when Phil Rowe got finished or was really close to getting finished, to my knowledge. He has a pretty solid grappling game. He has a pretty solid striking game. He's durable, he's savvy. The way he loses mostly is by decision because people will take him down and hold him down. And that's how he typically loses. And I think Cole's gonna go that route. Probably throw some heavy shots, try to keep Rowe honest. I could see Cole getting upset here, so concerns there. But trying to maximize the value on Cole, I think his most likely path to victory here is by decision. So Cole by decision at +140 is the third prop. Fourth prop is Radke by KO or sub at +140. His opponent was getting dropped on the contender series, and he only won because his opponent gassed out and was like that type of fighter. And then when he got debuted in the UFC, came in as a favorite. I picked against him, and I cashed on that, picking against him in that one against Riz McKee. Again, his opponent's not really that sharp of a striker or anything. He just kind of tough, and that's about it, or a little bit tough, but the skills aren't all there. And I feel like Radke's tough. He's a much better grappler. He'll be stronger. He'll be the better striker, this better overall fighter here. Has UFC wins. And we look at his losses. Who has he lost to? He lost to people that are like top 15 welterweights. He lost to Carlos Prates. He lost to Mike Mayotte. These guys are like top 15, top 10 welterweights. He's not losing to just anybody. So, and his opponent lost to Riz McKee, who's like 1-5 in the UFC. And yes, you say for some decent competition, but not the same level of competition necessarily. I mean, he did fight Khamzat, but outside that, you can't say his competition even really similar to the level that Radke has fought, and even some of the competition Radke has beat. So yeah, I just like Radke over here. I don't like the fact that Raki's coming off a stoppage so much, but both of them are. So yeah, I like Radke a lot here. I think he's a better overall fighter. So Radke by KO or sub to get it done in the distance at +140. I do like that play. Next one, I got Garcia versus Onama to fight to start round 3 at +134. Not the greatest prop, but plus money here. And sometimes when these fights, when you expect them to end so quickly, sometimes they drag out a bit. And Onama has shown to be tough. Garcia, he's tough, but he's shitty. So I can see Garcia getting in flatline, but I could feel like Onama might be able to extend him to the third round at least if he's going to lose it in. So this kind of more so a line that's favoring Garcia to win. So like Garcia, I feel like Onama he has shown toughness multiple times. Like even like gassed out, hurt, he's still in the fighting. So Onama has shown multiple times that he can, fight on. So I feel like the fight can go into round 3. And also, if the underdog does it, I feel like it's probably like Onama as the fight drags on. Garcia gets a little bit more sloppy, and Onama catches him. We have seen Onama doing like 1 or 2 fights where he's kind of down a bit, and then he finds the opening, and he catches his opponent, knocks him out. And I feel like Garcia is definitely, open to be written into that same similar script. But I'm leaning Garcia here. But my prop is fight to start round 3 at plus 134. Not the greatest prop, but sometimes this is how these fights play out, and I'm just playing that angle because sometimes these fights you're like, oh, it's going to end the first round, it's going to end the second round, and they go to a decision. So third round's kind of like smack dab in the middle. I really wanted to play the over 2.5 kind of, but this does give me plus money, and I feel like similar scenarios in that plus money value. Then last but not least, Elikana Christian to not start round 3 at minus 136. I feel like this fight's not gonna go the distance. I feel like Elikana's gonna be able to wear down Christian over the course of the fight, and I can see him get it done either round 1 or round 2. I'm leaning more round 2, but I don't see this fight going to round 3. I don't think this is a max bet lock prop by any means, but at minus 136, I do think that's a good value for a likely outcome. So again, Dumont by decision at minus 105, the Val KO decision at plus 300, Cole by decision over Phil Rowe at plus 140, Raki by KO sub at plus 140, Garcia Onama fight to start round 3, not start round 3, but to start round 3 at plus 134, and last but not least, well, it might be least because it's the worst value on the props. Elikana versus Christian in round 3 to not start minus 136. And those are the 6 props. And
7 props, man. That's 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Yep, 7.
Yeah. What's the second one again?
Actually, it's 6. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 6. The second one is Deval by KO or decision at plus 300. So that's like the most sniper one on the props because you sniping the underdog.
Because you're getting the most value you can on whether he is a dog, right? So you want man. Wow, that's crazy. So I like that fight with Norma Dumont at minus 105. That's good value, because Ketlin Vieira, she's gonna have to find a good use of her judo, find good use of the ground, win some minutes, maybe try to squeeze out a round. Norma Dumont's not gonna finish her because Ketlin could always just clinch her, grab onto her, toss her, at least attempt those grappling exchanges. So that definitely buys the round. Norma's obviously got the more polished striking. So at minus 105, you can't go wrong, man. That beats the over 2.5 rounds, at minus 250. So it's perfect. Norma Dumont at minus 105. She's contending for that title. KO or decision, man. Wow. Yater, what is it? Yater Del Valle, Cuban grappler with judo experience and not bad, with the striking. He's got a solid ground and pound against Isaac Dogarian. That's a lot of money. Plus 300, 50?
Not just flat out plus 300.
Plus 300. Then you have a Cole by decision plus 140. That is it's a good take, to realize that you're coming from regional promotions to face the best in the world. It's not like you're gonna just knock out Phil Rowe or go to decision. But, to have that as a double chance at plus 140 is ideal. I can't even believe that's a real line. Plus 140 for decision or on KO?
Nah, his name is KO. Like,
yeah. Okay. That's what was confusing me. Okay. That's a crazy double chance right there.
Just decision at plus 140.
Decision at plus 140. Damn, bro. I love that because no one's giving Phil a shot. And then others think Cole hasn't really shown much, so he's green. So this is a very sneaky play. That's value, plus 140. And Phil would resort to clinching. I don't think he'll resort to try to brawl this guy or fist fight with him. And Cole would be smart enough to not exchange with someone with that reach, man. They may do the same as Norma and Ketlin, grapple around or two to, get some minutes there, a potential sub, especially for Phil Rowe. And then Radke, that's a knockout or submission. Yeah. I saw his opponent, what is it, Frenza? That's his last name, Frenza?
Yeah, Daniel Frenza.
Bro, that man looks like he needs a gym immediately, strength and conditioning. So I like this for Radke. And you're right, the strength and competition gives you a good edge on a number like that, man. You're getting KO or submission. This is a finisher. And then Garcia versus Onama, round three to start plus 130. You know, a lot of people are being thrown off by that over 1.5 on the rounds, and that actually it plays a psychosis on people believing potentially that Steve Garcia is the inevitable side by finish, you know. And we know Onama starts off slow. He does have soft punches, you know, initially. Steve Garcia would be a fool to just get in there and brawl off the first round because Onama can clinch him, use his knees, and potentially take him down, man. If Onama feels he's being muscled, I listen, man. It's a 5 rounder, but I have all the edge in the on the canvas. Don't get close to me, you know. But and if you do, we're gonna go there for a 2 or 3 rounds, you know, regardless of whether I gas or not. I know I'm submitting you, you know, and that you know styles make fights. So I think that this guy Steve Garcia is exclusively a boxer. And so I like the upside here for Onama and for this to go a few rounds out of respect for each other's skill set. Elikana, man, everyone's talking about, you know, the chin or him finishing. So fight not to, you know, get past round three not to start at minus 130. That's a good bet. You get that, you cash that on either side. So yeah, man, I like this. This is solid. This is a good card, man. You could take all this shit straight, you know?
So that concludes our props of the week for UFC Fight Night Garcia versus Onama. Once again, me King of Crackdown with Pro Bets. Thanks for watching, guys and girls, and catch y'all next time. Peace.